So
yeah, what happened with Comedy Central? Is that even like
it got bought? I got bought. Everybody got fired, and now they're doing syndications. I'm sure you guys could appreciate giving a show like The Office a chance.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But I don't know what they're. I mean, besides the Daily Show, and
I brought Voss up at the punchline. I used that as a credit, and then he gets off stage and he goes, what the fuck were you thinking? Comedy Central? That's not a fucking credit anymore. Like, thanks, Rich.
Yeah, that's great. Voss is classic, man. You gotta love. I see him once in a while in the city. These guys are all. I don't see anybody anymore. Most of these guys are on the road making money. If they have a following, and most of them do because they have hit podcasts or whatever, they are able to draw. And so maybe I'll bump into them during the week, but most of the time it's like they're on the road just making money, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what's your home club right now? What's your home base?
I like the Cellar a lot. The Comedy Cellar. I've been there for years, and they're good to me. The Stand is a great club. I also work Gotham. I work all the downtown clubs, the New York comedy clubs, both New York comedy clubs. The downtown. I live downtown, so I just can walk, and it's easier for me coming off the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Stand kind of went from not being one of the top tier ones, but like the last 6-7 years, like really broke through. No,
I think it is. I think that it's packed on the weekends when I'm there. When I'm in town, I'm not there that much anymore. But like it's always good. You can get a good barometer. I think the key is like getting a good, because it's not really about the money. It's about like getting a good feedback on the jokes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So and then trying to develop and to take them on the road.
right.
So yeah, but the crowds are good. The crowds are really good though.
You know, people ask me about
what was
is it easier?
Sorry, Dom.
I
mean,
no problem. So it must be easy for you to now better. I said it's hardest for me. You know, it's like because you trying to think of everything that ever talked about this. So, you know what I mean? When they were only like 50 or 60 comics around the country, it's a lot easier to change. Anyway, what do you think?
Yeah, it's like you mean to like change your like style or material, depending on where you were at.
I think it's much harder today. The easier part is they have the computer stuff and all that.
Right.
That's a different world.
Right. It's a different world. It's a different world.
I always think for like New York and LA comics that do the road like you guys, it's always crazy to me to observe because you guys are doing these tight 10 to 15 minute sets. And then on the weekends, you're stretching an hour.
Right.
It's like, I think, Dom, you were saying not too long ago, I think when we had Brian Regan on the show, you were saying actually what ends up happening is from doing the road and stretching like that, when you do those tight showcase sets, it's easier to get the beats.
I never seen anybody stretch more than Dave Chappelle. I love Dave, all that stuff, but you can take 5 minutes out of it just getting a drag of a cigarette. I was going my sister. No, smoke the fucking thing. We got to move on. Dave, please.
Building the tension, the showmanship.
Yeah, I think it's just very. Even the time that I've been in it, it's changed, and I would say like before the pandemic to now, it's like it's just social media and everything has taken over, Because I mean, it's hard because it's like you'll get something and you'll think it's great and funny and it'll be working live, but then you put it online and it doesn't do that well. Then you do something that's garbage that you think is garbage, but you put it online and it murders. So it's like, what is it? The algorithm? Like I don't know what's happening here.
And there's also just.
I didn't mean to step on anybody. Sorry.
No, you're good, Dom. Go ahead.
I don't remember what I was doing anyway.
How
did I get here?
I was just saying that the amount of content that's out there too, that you have to, try to compete with, It's
Right.
just like there's just so much of it, you know. Every day there's just so much of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the other thing. It's like getting on the ground floor of a new technology. That's part of it. It has nothing to do with like we're
Right.
so precious about our content. And Dom, when you were coming up, it was probably about just protecting that hour and everything. But really now, if you can get in on the ground floor of like podcasting, for example, if you can get on the ground floor of it, it's like you have a better chance of being, not guaranteed, but you have a better chance of being massively successful. You get on the ground floor of TikTok, you know what I mean? It's like better chance of having a draw. The ground floor of Instagram Reels, you know, your stuff is getting shared all over the place. So I think that's part of it. It's aligning yourself with the emerging technology. So the next thing that comes out, whatever it is, Foursquare or whatever it is, like we all got to get on it. Like what was the other one during the pandemic that where you talked Clubhouse?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. That came and gone.
Over. It's Clubhouse now. It's like that didn't it petered out, but it's like we all had to do it, you know, just in case.
Yeah.
What was it? I don't know that.
It was like it was an app basically where you could just listen in to live. It was almost like live radio shows, but then you could also talk back and forth with the host, right? Isn't that kind of like how it was
like a live chat room? It was like a live chat where everybody's talking back and forth. Like hit the button to signal in that they wanted to talk. It was like a live AA meeting. I assume everybody here's a drug addict.
Assume away.
Mike, we were talking about how JFL used to be the significant thing that you'd work hard for.
Right.
You would showcase there, and it would lead to all this opportunity. And now that even kind of died down a little bit.
I don't know. I haven't been up there in a while, so I don't know. I know, Dom, you go every year, right? You did go.
Montreal? Montreal, you're saying?
Yeah, Montreal.
Yeah, I've been there more than any other white guy. And I've been there the most of anybody from the States.
Wow.
Because they let me host it. I couldn't do that with just material, believe me.
Right.
I have a smoke, but I don't ever sing. Right, motherfucker.
You would they would have you up to host that too, Dom? You would like host shows for people a lot?
Yeah, I did a lot of that, like new faces. I got a lot of people that launched a lot of careers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some people who were so good and some people were so bad, and to see the 7 minutes of what 7 minutes could be and would be if you were good.
Right.
A lot of good ones, but there were a couple. Oh my God. Can't believe, where the fuck did you get here? Who did you have?
Well, I thought it's different because in Montreal, I just felt like I thought it was all about your jokes. I thought, oh, it's all about your jokes, you know, and I didn't make it for a couple years, you know, the third year I finally made it, but I was like, oh, my jokes aren't strong enough. I got to go back to the drawing board and work on my jokes. Then I got up there and I checked everybody else out. It's like, oh, it's not about jokes. It's about your persona, because they're trying to sell TV shows and they want somebody that they can base a TV show around. And they have writers and stuff. They don't need you to be, they want to see the charisma on stage of you being, at least it was like that, being a character or being whatever, you know, talking about your truth, your family, whatever it is that they could build, something that they could dial into to build a show around. See, I was all caught up in the joke. Like, I'm like, oh, this is about the joke. It's like, no, it's not about the jokes. It's about your experience and being charismatic in describing your experience, kind of. At least that's the impression I got.